5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. It's Amanda Bella here, and happy New Year's Eve. New Year's is one of my favorite holidays. As I'm getting older, I'm really becoming just more aware of the fact that as another year goes by, as another season changes, you just never know what the next year is going to bring. And there's something exciting about it, but there's also something very cathartic about being able to release the year before. So that's where we're living now, is in this time and space in between years where it's like, okay, 2025 was very exciting and a lot of things happened. We bought our first house, et cetera. But now looking into next year, like, what are my goals? What are my dreams and my hopes? One of my number one things I'm going to be focusing on is this podcast and platform. So thank you for being here and making that something that, when I get a DM, when I get a comment, when I get a new subscriber, like, it just is the best feeling in the world, because this is truly my art. And I've talked a lot about how this is like a release in many different ways. So if you guys didn't catch me on Pop Therapy with Yana Firestone, she's amazing. She's lovely. And her brain works very similarly to mine. And we had a really good conversation for like almost an hour and a half last week. So I'm going to make sure I link that, but please go listen to that whole convo. It was so good. And we really aligned on what we think a lot of the problem is with maybe just 2025, a lot of the storylines that played out and a lot of the housewives issues, because there is such an echo chamber online. And that is why I created this podcast, because my podcast really is the most talked about moments of reality TV. And like, where are people talking about moments of reality TV? Like on social media for the most part. Also in real life, at the water cooler, per se, at dinner with our friends. Like when we are with our friends, if you're lucky enough to have a real life community of people, friends and family that you get to speak to about Bravo and reality TV, that's amazing. But a lot of people have been able to create this online community because we don't all necessarily have the luxury of being able to talk about these things. So that's what Bella Talks TV was built for. It's almost like, okay, where you go when you want to hear what other people are thinking about the shows that you're watching, because maybe you don't have a chance to talk about these things. Maybe you work from home. Maybe you work in a male dominated field. I mean, not that men don't love Bravo, but there's like more men in the Bravo sphere than ever. The boys are loving BravoCon, but just a lot happened in 2025. I think there's a lot of positive in reality TV, but there's always a little bit of negative. And I don't have the time to do a traditional top 5 countdown with you guys, but I just want to do a rapid fire 2025 recap and go through some of my most talked about moments of the year and some things that I'm still thinking about 12 months later. Maybe, some of these things are from like last January. And then some of the things that have happened more recently. So it's not like the most comprehensive list, but it's stuff that came to mind when I was like, wow, what went down this year on reality TV? And there was a lot. And it is very clear that it takes a lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of cast, a lot of producers, like, to keep this machine going. And we're just a little tiny cog in the machine, but I'm happy to be a cog and happy to be included. Let's go through just, some hot takes and some opinions. That reminds me. So Danny Gossip Girl, my girl, Danny, she is, I don't know if it's just a podcast. I mean, she does like a whole YouTube show beyond a kind of, not Beyond the Villa, but we talked about Beyond the Villa when I was on the show, but it's kind of like Love Island, like beyond that though. I shouldn't like properly plug it if I'm going to speak about it. But anyways, she's so cute. And on her page, she's been doing kind of like an end of the year awards for all different kinds of things, like from everything from producers to full on networks to full on TV show cast members to just specific niche things. And she had a category that was for like content creator hot takes. And I do know, I guess, that it is so funny because I don't view myself like that, like not afraid to say my opinion. But it's because I'm not working for Big Bravo and I'm not working on one of these things. Like there are, to me, clear podcasters. I listen to their recaps and they are very biased or they're purposely neutral because they have to be. Either way, it's just not their real authentic take on things. So I'm luckily to be free of the burdens of having a real job and having any type of like real accountability for what I say on here, except for, of course, allegedly. Everything I say is always alleged, but for entertainment purposes. But let's look up Danny's site because I want to just see what she is saying on here. He is at Danny Gossip Girl is the IG, DANI Gossip Girl. And I believe it's also on her TikTok, but I think these are called The Villa Download. I think that's the show, the YouTube show she does with her friend Kim, who I've also met virtually, Kimberly. And it's like the Villa Download Reality TV and Pop Culture Awards. So this is what she's putting on. And this is like all of the little nomination things. And I was lucky enough to be nominated. I literally put it's just an honor to be nominated for me and my hot takes. So I was really happy to see that. And I just want to check too here one moment. Okay, so it's New Year's Eve and I don't have that much time, but I wanted to make sure I got something out for you guys to recap the end of the year. I mean, there are a billion things we talked about this year. And I was laughing because on Riverside, the platform I use to record, they do little like recaps of you. And oh my gosh, I talked a lot of shit this year. Okay, let me just read this one message and we're going to get right into it. This week, I want to just run through rapid fire a bunch of things happened in 2025 and just the way I feel about how it ends. Because it was a crazy year. And looking back, so much has happened. Like, what is even time? Who even knows? So if you guys remember back in last January, it was the return of the Traitors. And I was so obsessed with season 3. Like I loved season 1 and 2, but season 3, right? Like I feel like it was the biggest ever. Everybody was watching, everybody was talking about it. And like, I remember, okay, so this is the first time too that my husband would like watch a show with me and he loved the Traitors. And so that was really exciting too, like being able to watch with him, except for he is such a rookie. And he's like, to me, I take watching my shows very seriously. Like I'm not on my phone. I'm not talking. Like this is cinema. So he sometimes will have to like rewind or watch, like he'll miss things and I will get so frustrated. Like 2 out of 10 recommend actually watching a show with your spouse that you like really want to pay attention to. But the good news is that we are able to just watch it, rewatch it if I need to. Stuff like that. So we were super into the Traitors. It was kind of incredible actually how every week we were so glued to it. But if you guys remember looking back, like what the fuck was Dolores doing winning the Traitors? Being the first housewife winner, she coasted to the end. She had no strategy. There's no way. Still to this day, I would not believe it. Like she hasn't really claimed, she hasn't been pushed to explain her strategy a lot. I think Andy and a few other people back when she was doing press were like kind of calling out the fact that she was wrong at every single round table. She had no idea what she was talking about. And luckily everyone just loved her. So she kind of just scammed her way to the end a little bit. And Dylan worked super hard and getting to see him go on to Dancing with the Stars afterwards was so perfect to me. I think that he was really a really good person to be like whoever his so yeah, Traitors was just so good. Yeah, Dolores had no business winning that. Gabby did really, really good because if you guys remember when she made it to the end and it was Brittany and who was the other one that everyone hated? Danielle. Oh my gosh, she was so smart to disappear into the darkness after this because we never really heard from her ever again. Talk about like one of the most hated villains of all time on reality TV. And you know that I love the villains. Like I really do support our villains. We need them. They are necessary evil. They're the definition of necessary evil is a reality TV villain. Okay, we need them. But Danielle took it to the next level. And because The Traitors is a show about lying and deceiving, it just was really taken way too far. Like I, in my gut, hated her. Like I remember I would call my mom and talk about how much I hated this lady. People probably talked to their therapists about how much they hated Danielle. Brittany was smart. She played the game good. And she seems to be generally liked by the public too. She's a little bit, I think she's like a chump and she's on Jeff Lewis now. I know that she's been on Ryan Bailey's podcast. I think people that she's interacted with have all liked her. She has a very strong personality too. She wasn't like my favorite person, but I loved this last season. Of course, Gabby was really the star that came out. She is going to be hosting the Alex Cooper Finding Love show, Love Yacht, something like that. I literally think it's called Love Yacht, where they're on a yacht. It's a dating show, and Alex Cooper produced it, and Gabby Wendy is hosting it. So, and I think it filmed in Malta, which is exciting because I want to go there. We went to Italy for our honeymoon. We strongly were going to also go to Malta, but we are going to go back and try to do that with Greece. It's on our list. It's on our list. So speaking of traveling really quick, just so you guys know, I do have travel coming up. Big surprise. I know I'm like always dying to be home. Like I'm such a Cancer in a Taurus moon, Cancer sun. Like I want to be home. But unfortunately, we're going on a cruise. Fortunately, but unfortunately, because of course I'm excited to go and it's freezing in New York and I love a cruise, but we're going to a cruise that's going to Bimini, Cozumel, and Grand Cayman. I'm so excited. And then when we come back, we're picking up Candy and we're going to Costa Rica for like 5 weeks while they finish our kitchen. Everything behind me, this old ass kitchen behind me, will all be gone. And like luckily by then, the construction will be done. I'll be back. But I'll still be recording. Like I plan on still releasing episodes. Like I'm really still trying to decide what day is it, Wednesday today. I need to really decide and commit to a day that I can really, like I'm really trying to work on this. Like I just had a girls planning meeting about like goals and content planning, and I don't know what day to release the pod, you guys. This has been a problem I've had since the beginning. I have big commitment issues with this. What day do you guys want to hear from me? Tuesdays with Bella. Tuesdays. I'm also considering doing the daily Bravo breakdowns, most talked about moments of the week. I feel like it makes sense for me to record on Thursdays and release them on Fridays, but I know that's bad. That's what people say, that's bad. So maybe I should do Tuesdays. Maybe I should do Tuesdays and just recap the previous week, and I'll record on Mondays. So I'm actually getting this like out in real time. Monday release. Okay, great. Anyways, that's what I have to say about that. Traders will be on, I think it's coming on the 9th, and it's being released the first 3 episodes. So you guys better be watching. I don't think I need to go through the whole cast again, but I'm just so excited to see Candace. Everyone, of course, interacting with Donna Kelsey. I secretly really wanted Donna Kelsey to be a villain, but I don't think she's going to do that. And if she's a traitor, I'm not going to actually be able to handle that. I can't even think about that right now. So just know that I'm really excited for this entire season and that we will be watching. So again, just running down another random list of things that happened in 2025. The VPR reboot. So we had a lot of news. If you guys go back to a world, I mean, what day did Vanderpump Rules? Oh my God, sorry, I have to find out. Okay, Vanderpump Rules season 11, the cursed season. Okay, so May 29th, 2024 is when the final reunion episode aired. So that's good for us to know, because then there was a period where we didn't know it was being canceled or rebooted. I don't believe they just told us. Remember, they like closed it out like it was the end, and we were all like, okay, wow, that would be a good ending if it was. And then it was, because they went right into the valley. And they focused a lot of their energy on getting the valley up and going. And I also have a theory about this VPR reboot. My guess is that they were actually getting ready. I mean, this isn't like that crazy of a theory. I think other people have said this too. Okay, sorry, you guys. This is real life, real time, just so you know. Like, people probably do wonder, like, it's really hard to find times to record because me and my husband both like basically work from home. So when you're working from home, you're always working. And especially when you're home. So even when I'm doing things and recording, like I always have to make sure I'm watching my phone. And we have Airbnb properties and we have someone checking in. And yeah, just so you know. So this intro has not been my best work ever, but thanks for being here. And now they're checked in and everything should be good. So let's keep running through these topics. So the end of Vanderpump Rules, as we know it, ends 2024. May 29th, 2024. They move into the Valley. Now, they've announced that Schwartz and Lala are going to be on the Valley this season. And I don't know what I think about this, because obviously I'm not like Schwartz's number one fan ever, but he is so nice. And when I met him at that Valley watch party last year, I mean, he was a doll. And of course, that's what everyone says. So for those reasons alone, I do have to think, okay, that's fine. I'm ready to see him. Now, Lala, not so much. I've really enjoyed a break from her. And I don't know what she's trying to do with her rebrand, but it's not working. She really wants to let go of Give Them Lala. And it's like, you can't let go. You just can't just like forget, all of this persona or whatever that you've been doing for years. Like we have not forgot. So now she's trying to be like untraditionally Lala, and she's trying to do the podcast with Randall's mistress. And it's like, nobody asked for that. Literally nobody wants that. Just the two of you care that you were in a relationship with Randall. No one else cares. And this was also like 5 years ago, 10 years ago at this point. Like, let it go. I don't know. I cannot believe they're having a podcast where they're still talking about Randall. It is insane. So speaking of Randall, I actually just watched the Diddy documentary. Also, I watched all 4 parts in one day. I binged it. It was insane. I do feel like it was really good though. Like I enjoyed it and it was a really good binge, but it didn't really like change anything. I didn't learn anything like so insane, but it was a really hard watch and he is just a weirdo. And unfortunately, that's the world that we live in. And like a lot of his defense was, and a lot of the reason why he didn't get a harsher sentencing is because people don't find it illegal to be a freak and be wanting to do freak offs. So unfortunately, with the Epstein situation in these files, that's illegal. That's actually a crime. So that's why that's different. When Diddy is with consenting adults, that's a really hard thing, I guess, to prove. And I do believe the victims, of course, every single one of them, but it's just not, it's really hard to get a jury. And they said jury that the entire time the trial was going on, that Diddy was like making faces at the jury and like suggesting things. And that's not supposed to be allowed. And I guess that he was just like running shit the whole time he was in there. So he's going to come out like probably more delusional than ever, just to prepare everybody. He really should pull an Ellen. Like Ellen was like, I'm getting out of here. Oh my God, you guys, he was on the Ellen show like over 100 times. Like they were besties. Oh, Ellen was doing some weird freaky shit. I'm so unhappy about that. Okay, anyways, so back to the VPR reboot. Pretty much, I'm still excited for this new season of The Valley without Jax. Now, Jax has gone missing. I don't know if you guys have noticed. He has pretty much not been seen, not been posting, not been anywhere doing anything since The Valley ended, which has been for the better. I believe he was probably dropped by his PR. And when you don't have PR or representation getting you booked, he probably has nowhere to go. I mean, if you're not being invited to things, you're not on a show anymore. Like, what are you promoting and doing? Word on the street is that, yes, he is still trying to make his podcast, like The Mind of a Man or whatever, about men's mental health, which is not funny. I think that's really important, actually, because if you guys haven't noticed, like everybody who's out there, doing a lot of this nefarious stuff in the world, and not everybody, but a lot of them are men. So they also need to go to therapy and get some help. And if Jax is going to help lead the movement to men having mental health treatment, I'm all here for it. So let's promote that. But that's, I guess, what he's doing. He's like laying low so that he can try to rehab his image, and he's going to come out, a new changed man for the 90th time. And I'm just happy he's sober. And if he's not using, and this is his new passion, is to help other men get sober, absolutely. I'm not the first person to do that. So I believe that model kind of works in this accountability, having sponsors. Maybe he's helping people. So I want to see the best for all of them, but we'll see what season 3 is up to. Like, don't forget in 2025, Kristen Doty became a mom. So we're going to be seeing that. And we're going to be seeing how motherhood has changed Kristen. We're going to be seeing Stassi on Stassi Says this upcoming year, because she just filmed her first season of her new show for Hulu. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Vanderpump exes still around doing different things. Katie's going to be on Stassi's new show. And there's going to be a lot of people, I think, still from the Bravo or from the Vanderpump sphere, like floating around a little bit. So I'm loving the new cast. I'm loving the reboot. I don't care what anybody says. I went in with just as skeptical as everyone else. Marcus, love him and hate him. You got to have these polarizing characters. I'm really into Natalie. I think she's actually talented and funny and is like the anchor of the cast. Venus is a star. It's clear that he's like already letting the fame go to his head, but that's great. He'll have a terrible edit next season. He'll get completely humbled. And he hasn't learned yet what it's like to be a true Bravo leb. So let him find out the hard way. Everybody gets this treatment their first season. And then next season, not so lucky. So Kim is an absolute nightmare, and her relationship with Marcus is like exactly what we needed to see. Remember watching Katie and Tom that first season? And everyone's like, the new Vanderpump Rules people aren't hot. Look back at the pictures of everybody season 1, 2. No. Jax before his 3 nose jobs, yeah, he was hot, but he wasn't that hot. He had work done. Everybody else ended up getting glow ups and fillers and whatever. Kristen Doty still to this day, I don't believe. Is she like a beautiful woman in the sense of, yes, of course, all women are beautiful, but am I watching her and being like, wow, this hottie, this baddie? No. Same with Stassi. Stassi always dressed like a grandma and wore big statement necklaces. She was kind of like a little bit Luann to me, like not my real brand of like sexy. I don't know. It's just weird, but I'm loving the reboot, and I really hope you guys are giving it a chance because I'm going to keep talking about it. Okay, so the new Beverly Hills season 2, it's only been 3 episodes, which it feels like it's been on for a year because they've been spreading the episodes over the holidays. So it's been kind of, I think it's interesting how they do that. I think they did that strategically because it's going to be a really bad season. So it's almost like we can't remember week to week really what's going on, and we're not going to know like when it's over, we're just going to be like, okay, wow, that was a big nothing burger. But it's not going to be bad, I don't think, because they have the new girl, Amanda, and she's a scammer. She's Scamanda. And we needed a scammer on Beverly Hills. I know that there's a lot of grifters out there. And I do believe in money manifestation and like The Secret and stuff like that. I talked about this on my last episode, and I went in a little bit deeper about her. So go back and listen. But I just cannot believe that she's coming in also with Rachel Zoe, who everyone is so gagged that she came, she returned. People can't believe that her and Roger are getting divorced. She's being very vulnerable, and she's showing up and showing these other ladies like pretty much how to do it. Like, this is what we do on Bravo. We're vulnerable, we're authentic, we actually say what we're thinking, we get in the mix, and we're able to have conflict and have resolution. We know that that's also a very important part of being on these shows, but it's not everything. It's not everything. Everyone knows too that there has to be authentic fights. And if it doesn't get resolved for good reason and people find new ways to like be frenemies, that's okay too. Like, you don't have to be fake and just make up and let things go each season. It's not the point. The point is to like express how you really feel about these real fights, because these should be things that you do have real emotions about if you're on these shows. These are real stories of real women, and we want to know what's going on with them. So Rachel Zoe returning, giving us everything and really showing everyone what to bring. I mean, what not to bring. A perfect example was Gretchen returning and bringing back 20-year-old beef and trying to relitigate fights that were had on season 2. And it's just really insane to me how delusional she is. And it's funny because she is so MAGA coded. Like, if you know these people, they are like on a loop kind of, and they do want to like defend. They're very defensive, and they are unable to see other people's opinions. And it's just everything that she is. So I knew what we were getting when she was coming back, but everyone else seemed to think that she was going to serve us something. And no, we got slopped just as we deserve, because this is what happens when you call for losers like this to come back on these programs. So I hope you guys have all learned a lesson. But whatever, sometimes I like to be punished. I like when trust me, roll the tapes. I was telling everybody that we do not want her back, and it was like the biggest flop ever. So I hate to be right, but I know sometimes I just knew Gretchen was not, we don't need her. I really want Alexis back again. I think that it just makes sense. And if you guys didn't go back and watch her original seasons and realize like how delusional and iconic she is, then you just don't understand. Like, it's more than Johnny J, and it's more than Shannon's alcoholic ass losing her boyfriend to her. Like, they got married, right? She's Alexis Jansen now. So it's like, that wasn't just some storyline for her. That was her real life. And I think that Alexis is a better housewife than Shannon. So I would like to see her come back next season. Now, I know everyone is so mad at Tamara, but I do think the dynamic is going to change, because Vicky being announced as getting her orange back at BravoCon 2025, that was it's making everyone's list of the biggest moments of the year. Like, I don't know why. I think I just felt it so much in my gut that it was going to happen. Like, I wasn't shocked. I was just happy it was confirmed. But I'm so happy Vicky's coming back. I can't talk about it enough, to be honest. I'm like, mom is coming home, the first housewife ever, the OG of the OC. Everything's going to be right in the world again. And I think that maybe there was like a curse that was spelled upon us that when Vicky left, it broke the equilibrium of the Bravo sphere. And I think her returning is honestly going to like get us back on kilter and get us back orbiting everything properly, orbiting the clubhouse properly. We really need her back because Tamara's broken. She needs Vicky. We need this to happen. Yeah, I cannot believe that Alexis really married Johnny J. I can't believe it. That was a huge thing that happened this year. Other things going on in 2024 or 2025. I keep trying to say 2024 and it's like, girl, it's going to be 2026. Like, I'm still a year behind. You know, when it always changes in the new year and then you have to start writing the new year, but you're like, you always go to do the last year's number and you have to like somehow turn it into a 5 into a 6 every time. Yeah, I got to get my 5s and my 6s down. Okay, so other things that happened in 2025. Soft Bar finally opened. Carl's Soft Bar that Lindsay hated on, that everybody in America hated on, that everybody said wouldn't work, that everybody said would never open, is open for business. It's been open for business since August. I haven't been there yet, but I definitely do want to go support. And it seems like it's thriving so far. It seems to always be busy. It's booked with events that happen there. It's a great corporate space. It's also a cafe. So a lot of these people that were going on about these problems are going to be able to see hopefully him thrive. Like, I really want to see this space stay open for at least a decade. I think that like anything staying open for 10 years is pretty reputable. I don't know if this is going to be like a lifelong venture for him, but you know, it does seem like it is a real thing. He really made it come to fruition. It doesn't matter if he had investors. Everybody has investors. You should never use your own money to open a business. And I've been championing Carl since the beginning. So I'm really happy to see him. Now, throughout this, it's made him earn the respect of everybody around him because him and Lindsay have basically made up and are friends again. He's going to be Uncle Carlito before we know it. Lindsay also confirmed that she's single in 2025. Her and Turner have ended their romantic relationship. They are just co-parenting, living separately. I mean, they were never living together. And that was like a huge confirm because remember, you guys, like if you go back and listen to some of my episodes back in February, I had my Bravo investigator lens on. And I was like, something's going on with her and Turner. Like, they're not together. She was posting his finger and pictures and like baby doctor's appointments and stuff. And I'm like, that's not a date. Like, show me a picture of Turner doing something for you, Lindsay, not Lindsay, my mother of my unborn child. I mean, I cannot believe that they're co-parenting together. Give me Andy and a camera. I wish so badly. Turner's so smart. I've said this before. I've gotten on this soapbox before that he's the smartest man alive to never film with her and never be seen in public with her. He's like, nope. Yeah, this is not happening. But what is happening is the potential budding relationship of Vanita and Carl. Now, they went on like a 5-hour date when she was here doing press for Southern Charm, and she went to Soft Bar and she was hanging out with him, and they've been like sparking romance for a while. And I'm not the biggest fan of Vanita, but I am the biggest fan of Carl being in love. So I really, really would like to see that happen if that is genuine and if they have a real relationship. I'm scared of anybody using him for a platform and being like, oh, look at this guy. He's like basically an OG on Bravo. He's been on TV for 10 years on this network. Anybody would want to ride his coattails if they're trying to rise the ranks. And she does give me a little bit of like single white female to Paige. Like, doesn't she want to be Paige? I don't know who was doing fashion first, Paige or Vanita. Not saying two people can't love fashion, but whatever. Anyways, you guys know where I'm going with this. I could rant about Vanita forever, but just wanted to reiterate again that Soft Bar is open and the haters were hating and Carl didn't let it get him down. So I'm proud of them. Okay, moving on to another story of 2025 was the struggles of Mary and Robert Cosby Jr. So we saw at the end of season, let's get my seasons. I think we're on seasons, 7 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I never know what season we're on. Season 6? Okay, we are in season 6 currently. So back in season 5 and into season 6, we've seen Mary confronting the issue of Robert, her son, being addicted to drugs. He got married and he was really on a downward slope, I think, of using with his partner. And it got so like, it seemed like Mary explained it in a way that like they used to be able to hide it. And then it became like so bad and so obvious that it became a really big problem. Now, another problem with Robert is that he seems to also be having some mental health issues that are expressing themselves in the way of possible domestic violence or harassment. It seems like he's been in and out of using. And then also the ex-wife, now she's filed for divorce. There was a time where she had not filed for divorce. And when he was in and out of rehab, he was trying to contact her. He was going to the house of her parents, unwanted contact there, and it was not looking good. Then he was arrested. I think that he was also found with more substances on him again. It's just been a struggle. He's currently incarcerated right now, and he will remain in jail until February, I believe. They're like making him be held. And that's such a scary place to be. But of course, like it's not the first time he's been forced to get sober. So I think it becomes part of this cycle. Unfortunately, I'm hoping that something will change this time, but I know he's had a lot of professional help. He's now had the cops intervene. Something's got to give with Robert Jr. So today is the, New Year's Eve 1st. This cult documentary about Mary's church is coming out. And it does seem like Mary was groomed. And there's kind of a little bit of a defense that Mary maybe didn't have a lot of choices in the things that were made setting up her life. But unfortunately, that is just where we're at with Mary. So tune in to see what unrolls there. But I'm telling you guys to have an open mind. Be open to the fact that like some of the stuff about Mary could be very crooked and looked at sideways. And we don't really want people like that being like thought leaders in our communities. So if she is doing something abusive, she can't be running that church anymore. Okay, another thing that happened in 2025, Kim failed the bar. And that's going viral right now. People are really shocked and I'm shocked too. It's not more so that she actually failed the bar. It's more so that she couldn't buy her way out of this, and she couldn't use her privilege and use her status to become a lawyer. You have to do it the old-fashioned way. And even though, look at Tom Girardi. I don't think like the California State Bar Association is necessarily like the most prestigious thing in the world, but it does seem like she has now taken the baby bar a few times and then now has officially failed the bar. And you're only able to take it, I think, a certain amount of times. So she did say that she's gonna take it again, and we'll see what happens. When you learn that she is a Libra and then her dad was also a lawyer, there is probably something in her DNA that is calling her to do this. But I saw someone make a really good point that she's all for prison reform and then she's all for criminal justice reform and all these things, but she's very quiet about ICE and never speaks up about it. And that to me is so freaking messed up. Like she never uses her platform in the right places. So whatever. On to my next thing. Okay, technically in 2025, it was the Craig and Paige breakup. They broke up on exactly 1 year ago, like the day before New Year's Eve last year. If you guys remember, it was obvious because apparently they had broken up over Thanksgiving. They weren't telling people. Then it was Christmas and New Year's and everyone was wondering why they weren't together. And that's when they were forced to come out and be public that they had broken up. So just to remind you guys that has been the longest year of my life since Craig and Paige broke up. And people are now predicting that Paige will be getting engaged in 2026 to Joe. And I would actually love to see that. I would love to see that because it would just put another nail in the coffin of me being right that she's been slithering behind the scenes and not really being that open with the gigglers. And she's not really that good with her fans. And just, I don't get the hype. What other things happened in 2025? We had New Jersey officially get paused, and we haven't had New Jersey cameras up in like almost 2 years. We haven't had them on the air in almost a year. We're starting to fade into the darkness, not even remember. Like I went back and rewatched recently just like 20 minutes of that episode where they were at Rails doing the separate reunion. And I, again, love when Bravo punishes us and the cast and whatever, us as a whole collective, because it is bullshit that they did that. And they did try to act like they were big in the show. And Teresa did have a God complex and they humbled everybody very quickly. Dolores, I listened to every episode of Two Teas in a Pod, which is one of my, I don't know why, it's brain rot, truly. And thank God, you guys, they have a producer on there because Teddy, Tamra, and it's usually Erica and Dolores who are the guest hosts. Teddy hasn't been on in a while. And I'm like, is she not feeling well? Or is she just depressed from the divorce? Like she has not recorded an episode in at least 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know where Teddy is. Of course, if something was wrong with her health-wise, Tamra would be talking about it, but I don't think that's what it is. I think it's like something else. So she is, I'm listening to these two knuckleheads truly on Two Teas in a Pod, but when Dolores is on there, she's always begging to get her job back. Like, I don't think she gets paid to be a friend of, you guys, on Rhode Island. Like, I'm pretty sure that that's just like, you're lucky to even be filming and being relevant if you're a friend of. I don't know if you get paid. So I don't think she's collected a paycheck from Bravo in like a long time now, and they're all hurting. And Melissa and Teresa reuniting at BravoCon and now spending the holidays together is very interesting to me, because I do believe that the motivation at its core was money and being able to hold on to their status within Bravo and realizing like, oh my God, we were like at the top and we blew it. So they're idiots, and they're definitely reaping what they sowed there, and they're doing their best to get the train back on the tracks. But I don't foresee it happening ever again. Like, it doesn't seem like there's going to be cameras up there even for, Andy said they have to be making up for a year. So what, next Christmas they're going to film? I guess that's the official prediction. My Bella Talks TV 2026 prediction is that cameras will not go up until Halloween, potentially after Labor Day or something, but fall of 2026. And they will shoot over Christmas like they used to, which is the right thing. Remember, they started doing summers in Jersey, and they would always be down summering down the shore. And it's like, we don't want to see this. We do not want to see this. The best episodes ever of Housewives are when Melania was a little kid and she'd be like opening her presents. My God, she's a terror. She's a terrorist. Another thing that happened in 2025, Sal walked off of the set of the reunion in part 3 of Beverly Hills, and they're still talking about it. They picked up cameras pretty quickly after that because they knew the fallout from that was going to be kind of bad. And then it was just kind of a slow roll of things. Like, I hated Garcelle. I cheered, clapped, screamed, cried, threw up when she quit. I was so happy. And it was just so the right thing to do. Bose is just so much better. I want there to be more women of color on this show. Please find more. Anne Marie was a big flop, unfortunately. We've had a couple flops. Crystal was a big flop. We need to have some more representation, but like not for the sake of the authenticity of the friend group. And that's one thing that this cast struggles with, is that no one really likes each other and nobody hangs out outside of filming, which is so disappointing and annoying. Bose and Dorit are the best thing that we have right now of being real friends on this show. Kyle is doing her best to come out still, and it's still squeaking out 1% at a time. So nothing has changed in 3 years of that reporting on it. And we're just going to continue to see how the rest of this season goes. And PK have actually filed, but they're not legally divorced yet. Kyle and Mauricio have not filed for divorce at all. Erica, again, and Tom, they're never filing for divorce. He's just going to die. And this is just like a very weird cast, and a lot of people are complaining about it. I don't know. I'm here for the mess, but we'll see what brings 2026 from these Beverly Hills housewives. In 2025, we had the announcement of Taylor, Frankie, Paul as the Bachelorette. Their Hulu's doing something different. They really want to bring in somebody from their Hulu sphere, their Get Real reality TV Hulu sphere there, and they're bringing in the dying franchise of The Bachelor. They were really hurting for ratings, hurting for something new and fresh to come in, and they're bringing in Taylor, Frankie, Paul. Now, do I believe at all that she found real love? No, I don't. I don't believe that this formula really works. I'm going to just watch it for my entertainment. I really highly doubt that she ends up with this guy. It seems like she had a lot of situationships and things happening back in Utah still when she left. And don't forget that she has 2 baby daddies, one who's an absolute insane nut. Dakota scares me. And then we have to just see what else goes on. I will be watching. Okay, so I have to pause here so I can go to dinner. But I promise I'm going to come back and record more of these topics with you guys when I come back. Okay, Happy New Year's. But again, I'm just ranting on about being back and talking about Whitney Levitt being on Dancing with the Stars. So a lot of people weren't really here for it. I loved it. I loved watching her rise to fame on the show. I think that it was very honest of her to go on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and be like, okay, I wasn't really sure I wanted to come back and film season 2, but like, even though I think she was bluffing about that, she was like, I just am here for like work opportunities and I want to just see where this show can take me. So because of that reason, Dina Katz cast her and Jen Affleck to be on Dancing with the Stars. And that was a total, it worked for me. I was a sucker. I was the perfect target demographic for them. For me to come in, and I switched from watching Secret Lives over to watching their journey on Dancing with the Stars. I loved it. I can't wait to watch them take Taylor Frankie Paul, put her in Bachelor Nation, and see where that soars off to. It's just all working for me. I'm actually a big fan of the Hulu cinematic universe and all of their reality shows. Another huge part of 2025 was just the idea of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives taking over, them being cast on Dancing with the Stars, being cast on The Bachelorette, like them becoming these like crossover figures. But then on top of that, we have the actual inner mom talk drama of Jessie cheating on Jordan with Marciano when she went to Vanderpump Villa. Huge 2025 storyline. Stassi is there in the villa also. She hosts the reunion. Dakota has the audacity to ask all of the women to leave the stage so that he can come on and explain his side of things. And now we learn too that the men are actually going to be going to Vanderpump Villa. Dad Talk will be infesting the castles, I think in London. I think they did Italy, France, and now they're doing London or England next or something. But that's where Dad Talk is going. Anyways, it's just insane to me how they've been able to interweave all of these different shows, have all of these crossovers, have all of these different cast members interact together. And now we even have a full-on lawsuit happening. Marciano is officially suing Demi. And I don't blame him because she's trying to truly slander his entire life for a storyline. And I mean, you guys, I don't know. I don't want to speak for like all women when we say that sometimes we do things and later we're like, okay, we were seeking attention. Or maybe I was like not the best in my relationship at the time. Whatever the excuses are, like it's very, very clear that Demi, I mean, she is with a guy that's almost 20 years older than her. And like maybe they have issues. And maybe she met a guy that was like 3 years older than her. And she was like, wow, this could be life for me. And I think that some things about Marciano really were appealing to Demi. And then clearly they were appealing to Jessie because she actually did engage in cheating on her husband with him. So justice for Marciano, dare I say. I mean, it's not his fault that these women cheated on their husbands with him. I mean, I really don't think it is his fault. I think that they presented themselves in a way, like the Mormon Wives platform was presented us in a way that these women cheat and swing. So, I mean, he was just under the impression that was given to him and was reading the energy and the vibes that were being given to him. So I don't know. I think Jessie, okay, she recently had a crazy surgery done on her face. They call it like a skin pinch, she said. And it's like, okay, I see on the camera here. Yeah, we got some bags. We got some wrinkles. I'm a human. If I need to get rid of every single wrinkle on my face, like I just am not committed to that journey. Let's say hi to Candy. And I know you guys come just for Candy content. Say hi, Puff. Right? Give him a bark. I love you, Bellas. My angel. Let me give her another bone. Okay, so that I'm really excited about also seeing Whitney Dancing with the Stars in Chicago. A lot Ariana did it first. Obviously, she wasn't the first reality star to cross over and to do the Chicago Roxy Hart character, but I'm very excited to see Whitney do it in her own way. I think she's a born entertainer, and I love Chicago. It's my favorite musical. I've talked about it many, many times. I also love Wicked. I also love Aladdin, The Lion King on Broadway, Kinky Boots. I mean, just to name a few. So I'm really excited to see Whitney in Chicago. Okay, let's move over a little bit to some other shows. Southern Hospitality to me had a really great season 3. I think that they were like a hit of Bravo in 2025. I think a lot of people were not expecting their latest season to be so good, and they went back and watched the first 2 seasons. I recommend that to everyone. I actually don't appreciate when people say, oh, you can just jump in at season whatever. It's like, no, you need to go back to the beginning and learn the lore of every single storyline. Like, I do not stand for people that think they only know half the story and only have half-baked opinions. It's like, learn it all or shut up. I really enjoy Southern Hospitality. I'm really shocked that Emmy and Will ended up getting engaged after the end of last season. Will is not participating in this recent season that was filmed. And even though they got engaged during filming, and then also Will was with Emmy at BravoCon. And it's just like, be here or not be here. Choose. Either you hate being part of this environment or you don't. Like I really hate Will. He's one of the great villains of the last few years on Bravo. Over in Love Island, we had Love Island season 7, by far the biggest season that there ever has been for USA, Love Island USA. On Peacock, hosted by Ariana again. She had another wonderful season of being the host, a fan favorite, serving looks. I love her stylist, Emily Men. I follow her on the gram, and she just is incredible. I love stylists, just like Rachel Zoe. Like I love watching stylists work. I love the way their minds work. Accessories, 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 always serving. So I really enjoyed watching Ariana again on there being a host. I really, really liked the season 7 cast, and I found each and every one of them endearing in their own ways. I found myself on an island hating Jeremiah. I know I was like the only one, but I thought he was so cheesy and so thirsty. I was a hood rat. I loved Huda, and I still to this day think she was misunderstood. Like just because you're a single mom midnight ballerina does not mean you are a bad person. And I think that she maybe saw with Jeremiah that he was like a hot, good guy. And I also think a lot of the people are in the villa now, like any other show, are aware of the audience, the cameras, the fan voting, and they're like serving certain agendas out there. You know, we did our best watching this latest season, but everybody had different opinions. I was a big Huda fan. And I hated Nicolandria, and it was the year of Nicolandria. They're still out there pretending to be together, and it's like, I've literally never seen them say more than 10 words to each other. So fine, if your PR is like you guys are better together, stronger together, like for one more year, just fake it. That's fine with me. But it is so clear to me they do not have a romantic relationship, and they're just willing to put their dating on pause for them to be able to have these advantages of being in the public eye that they're in. I mean, you're only in the Love Island sphere for like 1 year. I mean, you guys, clearly this is not my best work tonight, but I'm doing really my best to get an episode out for you before the end of the new year. And I myself have been just like dying for content. So I knew people would appreciate having like an hour of somebody yapping about shit that happened this year. So doing my best to get this out to you. The dog's acting crazy. It's almost 9:00, moving towards the end of this year. And I mean, I'm really excited to watch Andy and Anderson upstairs when I go up and put my PJs on. Anyways, okay, so let's get back into my little list here. I was very happy with Love Island. I think Amaya and Brian were the right winners. I think they were both good people. I think Brian had no expectations and came in with no ulterior motive. He just got very lucky and was in the right place at the right time. So because he's not a piece of shit and didn't treat Amaya like crap like every other guy did, that's why he got to win the money. So let that be a lesson to all men. Be good, and in the end, you will win. One of my favorite moments of last season was Meg the Stallion coming to visit people in the villa and being able to just interact with the people in the villa and fangirl out and have so much fun. So I really enjoyed the season of Love Island. Another non-Housewives, non-Bravo show. We have to talk about the latest season of the Welcome to Plathville, and I can't remember now if it was season 6, season 7. Again, I always kind of like lose track after the first couple of seasons. But whatever season we're on, it was incredible. And the way that they dedicated the entire season around the fact that Lydia was getting married. And Lydia's getting married to a guy that she met only like 30 days before getting engaged to. It was like a call from God. We all knew that Lydia was going to marry some Christian guy from a mega church, that she was going to get like whisked away and married off. And it's exactly what happened. Everyone in her family is very concerned. All of her brothers are like, what the hell? Except for Barry, her dad, who just cares about Christian procreation and just wants her to like get to baby making so he can be a grandpa. So, you know, that goes on. Remember, this is in Georgia. They are in the South still. Now, Lydia ends up getting married in the end, but the entire wedding was absolute, like, it was just a shit show from start to finish. And the most insane part about it was Micah. And so again, a lot of the cousins or the brothers and sisters have been estranged over the last couple of years because of Ethan and Olivia's divorce. That really kicked off, like, Olivia's presence really created a lot of problems in that family because it caused Ethan to choose a lot between them. Now, history is repeating itself, and here comes Micah and his crazy ass girlfriend too. So yeah, we have the resurgence of like Micah, and he comes in like as soon as they get rid of Olivia. And Olivia terrorizing the Plath family. Lydia gets married to Zach, and Micah decides that him and Veronica, his girlfriend that like we knew was trouble right from the beginning, they decide to basically come in, bring all of their personal drama because Micah's been cheating on Veronica because Veronica is extremely insecure. And if there's one thing that we know, it's like relationships 101. And as misogynistic as it is, men always are like, I want a woman that's confident, right? Just like we want a guy that's confident. This is a Common theme. Be confident. Don't be like weird and insecure. But Veronica was just doomed from the beginning. And unfortunately, she gets bullied a lot. And there's been a lot of speculation about her sexuality because she has a lot of features of somebody who is trans, but she is a born woman and she is a woman and she's always been a woman. But like, unfortunately, she's 6'2" and she just the way she talks and the way she wears her wig, almost like she has a wig, like she just carries herself like she's someone who's trans. So it's been a very weird relationship because we're all like, what is going on here? I could see if she had a sparkling personality and was just like an amazing person, but she like sucks and she's like kind of weird. I don't know. I never ever understood what was going on there with Micah. I think that Micah has mommy issues with Kim and there's something going on there with all these women that the guys are choosing to be with in the Plath family. But basically it was the red wedding because then Micah and Veronica get into a huge fight. And Isaac, the other brother, gets into a huge fight with Micah and beats him so bad. They said it looked like an apple was under his nose, like a piece of fruit or something. Like they were trying to explain how big Micah's nose got when Isaac punched him all over Veronica. And Veronica talking shit about the family. Just some things never end with these. I mean, 7 seasons now of this Plath family fighting over the same shit. Will I continue to watch in 2026? Yes, but I don't know if it's been confirmed. I mean, they left off last season with this like red wedding. So if they didn't get re-signed for a season 8 after that, I don't know what it would take. What do I foresee my official another Bella Talks TV prediction for 2026 that Barry and Kim get back together? For some reason, I just see it coming. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Real Housewives of Miami because they also had a huge 2025. A lot of thanks to Haitian Mortician. I mean, one of the biggest quotes ever. She was in a bad place. She was in a bad place. She was cheating on Martina with the Haitian Mortician. I mean, I'm not even much of a lip syncer, but I know that one because that's a big quote of the year. The Juliana Adriana hookup being confirmed. The fact that I met them and took a picture with both of them at Bravo Fan Fest in Miami. The whole thing blows my mind. They had a huge year. Lenny and Lisa getting divorced. Lisa and Jody moving forward with their relationship. Larsa and Marcus breaking up. Gertie is officially, I think, allegedly off the cast from what I hear and that she will not be coming back next season. Stephanie Shoji, I can do without. She's giving me thirst and scammer, much like Amanda from Beverly Hills. It's like this new money, new weird bullshit. Not feeling it, but I see why they want to invest time in her age gap relationship. It's like doomed. So they want to probably keep her in the circle. Yeah, it was a really good year, except for Todd. Like, I have to say, I really am not usually like this, but I do think I was the first one to make the Todd meme that was like, it's about Todd and the 3 Todds and acknowledging that Todd ruined Bravo this year and there were lots of Todd divorces. Also, another prediction, 2026. Bronwyn and Todd are not getting divorced. I actually think that she'll retract any type of thing. It has not been confirmed. And I actually think that she's going to come out and say that it's all just like hearsay, that she's changed her mind and she was like in psychosis. She does this a lot. She says things and she rages and regrets. Okay, good year for Miami, bad year for Todd's, bad year for Kenya's. Kenya was fired this year. I think it was time for her to go. I never was a Kenya stan. I think she's had her moments. I think Gone with the Wind Fabulous was one of the best Bravo Housewives songs moments of all time. She has expired. I'm a little concerned about her because the salon never opened and has never seen a customer or a client. So where is any money coming from? If she has the salon hair care gone and the housewives paycheck is gone, where is she getting her living from? Where is Brooklyn getting her next meal from? Because I do worry about these housewives kids. Speaking of housewives kids, well, not quite housewives, but Bravo babies, the McBees, many babies being born. I was introduced to the McBees in 2025, even though they technically aired in 2024. I didn't catch on until season 2 aired. So I missed like a year of loving them, which I regret. One of my favorite years for me personally was the fact that I got to talk to them and ask them a question live at BravoCon that streamed on the Peacock app. So I'm really proud of that moment. And I love talking to the McBees. Daddy McBee is in prison currently. I can't imagine he'll be there. Like, I'm guessing by my birthday, July 19th, he'll be out. So I think he was sentenced to 2 years, but federal prison's weird. Jen Shaw's out. That's another thing that happened in 2025. She was supposed to be in there until like at least 2028. But again, federal prison is a joke. So she's getting out. Oh, one thing I have on my list that I did not mention when I talked about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was Fruity Pebbles Gate. Even though I find it disgusting and horrible and horrendous, it was a huge moment of 2025. And I think to me, it just showed us like how low people are willing to go in 2025 and the things they're willing to expose and say. Like in Housewives, there are unspoken rules. Like you don't say things typically that will actually ruin someone's life. Like you want to hint to things and get them to kind of like out enough to make a storyline out of it. But like actually saying your husband drinks your piss like dirty soda, guzzles it. I mean, Jesse can't take those words back. Hearing Fruity Pebbles Gate, I'll never forget. Love Thy Nader was a big moment of 2025. I really resisted it for about not 6 months. I think I lasted about 3 months before I watched it and finally caved and binged it all in one day. I think Brooks is insufferable and I don't like anything about her, but I understand that being delusional is what it takes to be successful nowadays. So Godspeed. I really like her sisters. They all seem somewhat normal, except for the youngest one who has youngest syndrome delusion also, who's like, oh, I also will just sit back and ride coattails, and that's fine. The middle sisters are like working really hard to make their own name for themselves and they don't really want to be associated. I too have middle child syndrome, so I'm like more around like along those lines of things. But I can't say I hated it, and I don't think I'm gonna like season 2, but I'll watch it. And I don't need more of them, but just enough of them is interesting. I hate that she did something where she was talking to Dakota. Like, how fucking thirsty do you have to be for camera time to talk to Dakota? So yeah, those are my thoughts on Love Thy Nader. Next Gen NYC, huge year also. I'm obsessed with Charlie. I don't care. And I was always obsessed with Ariana Bierman and the Bierman family, the Bierman Zolciak clan. Happy to have them back on my screens. I also think Ava Dash is insane and insufferable and her dad's broke. So like, why are you so snobby? Again, I think delusion. Gia, I'm coming around to. I don't love her. She said that she actually hated the way she was edited in season 1 and is not someone who hates coming to the city and prefers to be in Jersey. So she doesn't like that she got that edit that made me like her a little bit more because I did think she was being snobby towards the city. And I'm like, okay, Jersey is truly no better. So I was confused about all of that. I'm going to give her a chance in season 2. I think Brooks is such a dud, but he's giving Gen Z, which like is next gen. All right. Okay, I have a few more topics here. So we have to talk about how Gypsy Rose was canceled in 2025. Like, what are they thinking? The best TV show that was ever on, I only got 2 seasons. We only got a total of 16 episodes of Gypsy Rose, Love After like Lockup, Life After Lockup, whatever it's called. I mean, wow. What a journey. What a journey. So she was released from prison. She got married to Ryan in prison, was released to Ryan, got divorced from Ryan, cheated on Ryan with Ken, got pregnant with Ken's baby while she was still with Ryan, got divorced from Ryan, had the baby with Ken. There's rumors every day that her and Ken are not together. There's rumors every day that Ken is with a man. Their baby Aurora just had her first birthday. Still, it's unclear what day is her birthday. You guys, I don't know. I'm in the conspiracies that the baby's not real. Like, am I crazy? Am I crazy? I need to look and see on Gypsy's Instagram. I think she hasn't blocked me yet. Because what birthday what is Aurora's birthday? It's the 26th. Okay, this is one day ago, which would have been the 30th, which is the same time my niece was born. And I mean, being born on the 30th, I think being born in the week between Christmas and New Year's, you're just a lost child, unfortunately. Okay, I'm really sad about Gypsy. When I want to feel something and feel alive again, I just go on TikTok and watch Ryan's lives because Ryan Anderson is still on live and he still does little TikToks of him and Pixie, little Pixie Pix, the dog that Gypsy abandoned when she went to go have Ken's baby. Still alive and thriving, if anybody cares besides me. Okay, so yeah, RIP to Gypsy's TV show and RIP to that time in my life when I felt so alive. Okay, a couple of really good shows that I don't think anybody cares about and didn't really watch, but I really enjoyed and I heard some people explain. But Owning Manhattan, so fucking good. Ryan Serhant is a star still to this day. I enjoy all the characters. I got to go into the office, into the Sirhan office, and do all the meet and greet and take pictures and dance. And it was so fun, except for Jade wasn't there and Ryan Sirhan wasn't there. So, I mean, not to be like that, but like the stars weren't there. And Chloe wasn't there. But I got to meet everyone else on the cast, and everyone was so nice. And I love that show, and it really inspires me and makes me want to shoot for the stars. And it really is really good. Now, the opposite for me is Selling Sunset, Selling OC, Selling the City. Those shows just make me want to kill myself. Like, they're so vapid and they're so much full of just beyond drama. And Alex Hall, like, I have such a love-hate relationship with her on Selling the OC. I just think that she's insane, and she's MAGA, and she's pick me, and she thrives for male attention. And I'm not 100% sure what's going on there with her, but I also can't look away. They always bring these side characters in. I really enjoyed the girl Kaylee that came into Selling the OC this season. Ashton Girl drove me crazy. She was a really good villain. I really enjoyed all of those Selling the OC, Selling Sunset seasons. This season with Amanda and Mary literally, allegedly being coked out and attacking all of the women on the cast trip. It was one for the ages. They call it like the Girls Giving or whatever episode. Ooh, go back and watch. Team Chelsea for life is all I have to say about that. Chelsea was always my favorite. I was always Chelsea and Christine Quinn on the side of them. Chrishell is so insane. I have fear for Chrishell. Ugh. Okay, we talked about Jen Shaw getting out of prison. I mean, she's back with Coach Shaw, which is her rightful place. I talked about Todd and Bronwyn. I think that they're going to get back together. Teresa and Melissa, we know that they're back for the holidays. There was a Laguna Beach reunion this year. It's not going to air until next year, but they filmed it already, where Elsie and Kristen are back together with the Alexes, with Talon, with all the other jokers from that. I watched every episode of the last year's Jersey Shore Family Vacation. I'm still following along. I mean, the lore and the rumors and the nastiness about Snooki and Gianni's marriage. I mean, what is the truth there? JWoww is killing it. Mike's killing it in his sobriety and really doing his thing there. Vinny is still a piece of trash. I mean, Sammy had a baby and then got married on Ronnie's birthday. Like, she's still petty as hell. It was a really good year in reality TV. Like, I don't know what else happened. Potomac's been a really good season. Again, nothing like too noteworthy, except for the fact that Karen did go to prison and get released all within the year of 2025. So, like, a living legend. Just this whole year was amazing. So I don't know. I'm sure I could go on forever. Love is Blind, Sparkle Megan, Jordan drinking the chicken smoothie. Like, these are things I think about every day still that will help me forever. It was a really good year filled with fun and filled with entertainment. So thank you guys for being here with me every week and recapping. Please continue to follow me in 2026. If you like my Bravo content specifically, you're really going to want to make sure you're following me on my Reels and on my TikToks. I will be releasing a breakdown of a daily Bravo breakdown of any news that surfaces about Bravo related things on my social media. The YouTube pictures or videos are coming too. Episode will be on video. I will be including more guests and more graphics in 2026, more bonus episodes. And that's pretty much it, you guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Bella Talks TV. Please rate, review, follow with your friends. Leave me a wonderful 5-star review to help me kick off the new year. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. Ciao, Bellas.